Hey, I've got to tell you about this super interesting, incredible artifact. It's called the Taylor Prism. It's fresh from 691 BC, and it gives the story of an ancient Assyrian king named Sennacherib and his showdown with the Bible's King Hezekiah. This is a six-sided piece of baked clay inscribed in Assyrian cuneiform, and it's the ultimate PR spin piece for an embarrassment King Sennacherib wants to keep quiet. The Taylor Prism was discovered in 1830 by a British military officer at the ruins of Nineveh. All right, it describes Sennacherib's devastating attacks on the territory of Judah in and about 701 BC, except for one minor detail, which we'll get to in a minute. But the prism describes cities destroyed, people captured, and a standoff with King Hezekiah at the walls of Jerusalem. He's rolling through Judah at the head of a horde of ruthless soldiers, chariots, siege weapons, leaving a trail of destruction to mark his path. The text of the Taylor Prism, when you translate it, it says that Sennacherib deported more than 200,000 people from their homes in Judah and captured 46 cities. And all of this was a response to King Hezekiah's decision to push back on him and not pay tribute. Now, the translated text of the Taylor Prism, it says this: "As for Hezekiah, the Judean who did not want to submit to my yoke, he himself I shut up in Jerusalem, his royal city, like a bird in a cage. He's shaking in his sandals before the overwhelming might of the Assyrian military machine," right? And the Bible tells us that part's true. I mean, he was desperate, and he's offering desperate prayers to God, prayers that show us a man who hangs on to hope by a thread, knowing that divine intervention is his last and only resort. Okay, so Hezekiah's a bird in a cage, and Sennacherib's a lion on the prowl. So we know what happens next, right? You know, lion eats bird. that must be how the story ends, right? Oh, but that's not what happens. Instead, Sennacherib's attack on Jerusalem ends in embarrassment and disaster. It's so shocking that Sennacherib wants to delete it from his memory and our memories too. And in fact, that's exactly what he tries to do. See, this Taylor Prism account leaves his readers entirely in the dark about the results of his siege on Jerusalem. He tries to position Hezekiah's tribute payment as a successful end of the campaign to punish the rebellious nation of Judah. He takes the money, he heads home, he teaches them a lesson. But after rolling up dozens of cities and deporting 200,000 people, seems to me that leaving Hezekiah safe and sound behind the defiant walls of Jerusalem can't be seen as anything other than an embarrassment, right? Well, here's the thing. Sennacherib wants to control the narrative because he could not control the outcome of the story. But thankfully for us, the Bible fills in what Sennacherib was ashamed to admit. His war, his reputation, his fate all changed in a single night outside Jerusalem's walls. The Bible gives us the story. It tells us Sennacherib was literally sent home by God down the same road on which he came, when in a single night, God defended his honor and his people by wiping out 185,000 of Sennacherib's soldiers. 2 Kings 19 says it like this: "The next morning, the surviving Assyrians woke up. They found corpses everywhere. And then King Sennacherib, no more comment. He just breaks camp, returns to his own land, and the Bible says he went home to his capital of Nineveh and stayed there." Now, no wonder Sennacherib wanted everybody to forget the whole episode, and the Taylor Prism leaves those details out. The official record may not have included the part of the story where 185,000 members of his invincible army died in their sleep, but people didn't forget. In fact, sometime later, after his return home, his own sons murder him in an attempt to take the throne. It's likely Sennacherib's embarrassing defeat weakened his power at home. Now, Sennacherib, here's what we got to think about. Sennacherib thought Hezekiah was trapped like a bird in a cage. But in the end, he was the one who would not escape. And here's the lesson we all do well to remember. We want to cover up the L's that we take, right? We either lie about them, try to forget about them, or blame someone else for them. But we're better off learning from them, right? And Sennacherib's pride is what lured him into a confrontation with the creator God at the walls of Jerusalem that he could not win. Like God said to Sennacherib through Isaiah in 2 Kings 19, 25 through 28. Listen to God's quote to Sennacherib. He says, long ago I planned it. Now I'm making it happen. I planned for you to crush fortified cities into heaps of rubble. I planned for it to happen. Isn't that wild? But I know you well, God goes on to say, where you stay, where you come, where you go. I know the way you've raged against me. And because of your raging against me and your arrogance, which I have heard for myself, I will put a hook in your nose, a bit in your mouth, and I will make you return by the same road on which you came. Yikes. See, Sennacherib believed he was the hunter, stalking his prey with force and skill that even the gods could not resist. But his military successes were just breadcrumbs. God was setting out to lead him into a trap. It turns out he was the hunted. And it's a theme that runs through the Bible story. No matter how smart, how strong, how well-funded, or determined we might be, it's an insane choice to fight against God or elevate our wisdom above his. The more we build our empires, the higher we climb for the fall. So let the small L's, okay, the setbacks, disappointments, dead ends, let those prompt us to ask ourselves, really, do the battles I fight, the battles I feel I must win, are they a flex? Do they advance my kingdom or God's? Really? Because listen, we can shape the narrative. We can cover our tracks. We can hide our L's or forget about them. But here's the truth. We can't fight God and win in the end. So why not turn back now before it's too late? And then on the flip side, think about King Hezekiah. He gives us a powerful reminder. Regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the pressure, it's never a mistake to double down on aligning ourselves with God's plan. When we are on God's side, not God on our side, but us on God's side, we in the end cannot lose. And that's a reminder we don't want to delete from our record books.